Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Shri Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahadurgaye Namaha. Om Shri Rama Ramaya Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shankaram Paramanandam Brahmanishtam Yatishwaram Bhashya Bhrantiharam Vande Shuddhatnyanekabodhakam Om Namah Shivaya 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 Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Hari Om Hari Om. On this auspicious day of Gurupournima, I invoke the kripa of all the Gurus, starting from Ishvara to our own Guru, on all of us. May their love, wisdom, compassion flow through us to the world around us, making everyone happy and peaceful. Today is Vyasa Purnima, which is celebrated as Gurupournima. So, what exactly is the role of the Guru? What knowledge does the Guru give us? And what is the importance of this knowledge? We will do a little bit of chintan on all these factors. Actually, we have found ourselves in this world. We are born in this world. We have to live. We have to constantly interact with this world, with people, with other beings. And while interacting, we also gain different types of experiences. But we desire to be free of all sorrows and we seek happiness. For this, we have to follow the path of dharma. And in order to gain that eternal happiness, we have to attain what is called moksha. So the path of dharma and the path of moksha is revealed by Bhagwan himself in the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, the Itihas, the Dharma Granthas. In all these texts, the knowledge is revealed by which we understand the path of dharma and we also understand the path towards moksha. But this knowledge is in the form of mantras, which are words and sentences. Just by reading them, we will not be able to comprehend what is being conveyed. So Bhagwan not only revealed this great knowledge in the Vedas, but he himself took the role of a teacher also to teach what is being conveyed. So the parampara of teacher begins with Ishvara himself. He teaches this knowledge to Hiranyagarbha, through Hiranyagarbha to all the rishis, and through this rishis, through the Guru Shishya Parampara, it comes all the way to our teacher and we gain this knowledge. It is said in our Upanishad that the Vedas are like the out-breath of Bhagwan. Even he did not sit and write the Vedas, they just spontaneously got expressed through Ishvara. Therefore, the Vedas are Anadi, Ananta, and Apaurusheya. They are beginningless, they are infinite, and they don't have any author. They are spontaneous expressions of the supreme reality itself. So Bhagwan, when he manifested this world, when this whole world got created, the first person who was born is Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, all three together. Hiranyagarbha plays all these three roles of manifesting the world, sustaining the world, and dissolving the world. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji calls Hiranyagarbha the Mukhya, what you call, is like a CEO, main person who does all the work for Bhagwan. So when Hiranyagarbha was born, he was born ignorant only. Because when he was born, he was alone and he got scared. He saw that nobody is around him, nothing is there, he alone is there, and he got scared. But immediately, by the blessings of Ishvara, he gained that knowledge of his own self. He came to understand that I am Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi. All his fear disappeared. He gained that enlightenment. But he was born to create the world, to sustain the world, to dissolve this world, do that work for Ishvara. So he started doing that work. So the knowledge of the Shastras were imparted to Hiranyagarbha, and Hiranyagarbha, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, imparted this knowledge to the rishis. We chant this very beautiful mantra. Sadashiva samarambham Shankaracharya madhyamam Asmadacharya paryantam vande Gurupournima. Bhagwan Shiva, who is also an expression, who is Hiranyagarbha. Bhagwan Vishnu is also Hiranyagarbha. Brahmaji also Hiranyagarbha. So Shiv Bhagwan gave this knowledge of the Shastras to the rishis. The rishis were in search of this knowledge and they were looking for a teacher. So Bhagwan Shiva took a form of a young teacher. He was seated under a banyan tree. And when the rishis saw him, they were totally attracted towards him. They approached him. And through his blessings, the rishis gained this knowledge. So Chitram Vatataror Mole Vruddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayaha. Through Mauna Vyakhya and through Chin Mudra, Dakshinamurti Bhagwan gave this knowledge to the rishis. And the rishis, they imparted this knowledge to their disciples, and they imparted to their disciples. In this way, this beautiful parampara have reached our own teacher from whom we have learned, and we should share this knowledge as it is with our disciples so that the knowledge parampara continues. Bhagwan Shivji also took the avatar as Shankaracharya ji, in recent times, in Kali Yuga, and he imparted that knowledge of the Shastras through his Bhashya. Shankaracharya ji wrote Bhashya on the Brahma Sutras, the Upanishads, and Bhagavad Gita, and imparted this knowledge to all of us. And before Shankaracharya ji, a very important role was taken up by Veda Vyasji. Veda Vyasji is also avatar of Bhagwan. And Veda Vyasji is present even now in this Kali Yuga. He is present. He had given his darshan to Shankaracharya ji also. So Veda Vyasji, he divided the Vedas into 4 parts as Rigved, Yajurved, Samaved, Atharvaved. Because Vedas are one only and they are vast. So Veda Vyasji as a Jagat Guru and a divine Guru, to make this knowledge more easy for us to comprehend, he classified them into these 4 groups as Rigved, Yajurved, Samaved, Atharvaved. Veda Vyasji also wrote the Puranas to reveal this knowledge given in the Vedas of Dharma and of that Brahma which leads to moksha in a very beautiful way in the Puranas also. The Puranas are the cosmic history, the history of the entire cosmos, because this world is not created for the first time. It is created constantly. It is created, it is sustained, it gets dissolved. Hiranyagarbha himself creates it many, many times during his lifetime. Every day when he goes to sleep, he dissolves this world, and when he wakes up, he again creates it. But after the lifetime of one Hiranyagarbha is over, another Hiranyagarbha is born, and he also creates this world many times. So the entire cosmos has got a long, long history. During one day of Hiranyagarbha, many Manus are born. So there are those Manvantaras, 14 Manvantaras are there in one day. And then the Sapta Rishis are born in these Manvantaras. The Devtas are born during these Manvantaras. So the whole cosmos has got a long, huge, vast history and a vast system. That system is revealed in the Puranas for us to comprehend a little bit of it. So though we may not be able to understand the whole system, but we get an idea by studying these Puranas that what was there before this creation, how the whole creation get dissolved, how Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha was born, how the Rishi Munis are born, how the Devtas are born, what are the various uh, uh, devotees who are born, what are the various avatars which Bhagavan takes. So many things are revealed in the Puranas. That is also written by Vedavyasji. And Vedavyasji wrote an encyclopedia of knowledge called Mahabharata. During his time, when about 5,000 years ago, when Vedavyasji had taken this avatar, that Mahabharata war was fought. So he not only wrote the history of that Mahabharata, history of Pandavas and Kauravas, but Vedavyasji also, through this Mahabharata, conveyed the very essence of the wisdom given in the Vedas, in the Puranas, in a very beautiful way. So Mahabharata is a very vast grantha, about 1 lakh shlokas are there. But even after that, Vedavyasji was not completely satisfied. So he wrote what is called the Brahma Sutras. Because the knowledge which is conveyed in the Puranas, in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in this Itihas, all these Shastras, they convey one knowledge. Knowledge of the Dharma and knowledge of the Brahma is conveyed. But many times one may get confused reading or listening to these Shastras. Some of the mantras might be very difficult to comprehend, and some may appear to be contradictory. So, in order to explain the teachings in simple form, systematically, Vedavyasji wrote the Brahma Sutras, in which, in 555 sutras, he revealed the 192 topics of this great knowledge, which is revealed in the Upanishads. He conveyed it through this in this Brahma Sutras. And his disciple Jaimini, he wrote Jaimini Sutras to reveal the knowledge of Dharma, which is also revealed in the Vedas. So the Dharma is explained very systematically in the Dharma Sutras of Jaimini. So Vedavyasji has played a very important role in classifying, in organizing this knowledge which is eternal and presenting it to the Rishimunis and to all the sincere seekers. Therefore, we celebrate Vedavyasji's birthday, his Jayanti, as Gurupournima, because he is the grand Guru of everyone. Shankaracharya's role also, all of you know, is very important. Because of his bhashya, we could understand what is revealed in the Upanishads and in the Bhagavad Gita as well as in this Brahma Sutras. Now, Lord Shiva, Bhagwan Shiva, not only revealed this knowledge which is there in the Vedas, but he has also revealed the techniques by which we can actualize this knowledge. See, there are these 3 important words which you have to remember. You must have heard it many times, heard them many times. One is mantra, Another word is yantra, and the third word is tantra. Mantra are those words in the Shastras which give us knowledge. When we contemplate upon them, mananat trayate iti mantraha, when we contemplate, when we listen to the teacher, to these mantras, and when we contemplate upon them, we gain the knowledge. So all of you who are listening to these pravachans also, I am just revealing the knowledge which is there in our Shastras, and as it was revealed by my own teacher. So when you listen to this and when you contemplate on it, you gain the knowledge. So for example, when we listen to the Dharma Granthas, we gain the knowledge about how we have to follow the path of Dharma, what are our duties, and how we should fulfill those duties. What are the various karma we should do? What are the various rituals which we have to do, and how we should do it? So, everything about this dharma is revealed, which we have to understand and then practice. Dharma has to be understood and practiced. But the knowledge about Brahma has to be understood and realized. Knowledge about Brahma we have to understand and realize. In Bhagavad Gita also, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, he gave him the knowledge of dharma, that you have to fulfill all your duties as a Kshatriya, and now do it. Pick up your bow and arrow and fight. He didn't tell Arjuna that, no, I have told you Karma Yoga, now you just sit, relax, have a cup of coffee. No, he said you get up and fight this war. Because dharma is something which we have to practice. It is not some just theory. But Brahma, the knowledge of Brahma, knowledge of our own Supreme Self, is not something which we have to practice in that sense. We have to first understand it. And we have to realize it. We have to experience it. It is something which we have to experience. Therefore, the path of Vedanta is Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasana. Shravan is to listen, Manan is to contemplate and understand, and Nididhyasana is to meditate and experience. That Nididhyasana is very, very important, though Shravan and Manan are also important. So, Bhagwan Shivji, as Shankaracharya ji, he revealed the secret of these mantras of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahma Sutras. But Bhagwan Shivji also revealed certain techniques with the help of which we can actually experience this knowledge. Those techniques are called Tantra. And those machines or those tools or those diagrams which help us to use this technique are called yantra. So Bhagwan Shivji gave this knowledge of tantra and yantra to Parvati ji. And Parvati ji also revealed the knowledge of tantra and yantra to Shivji, because Shiva and Parvati are one only actually. They are one tattva appearing as though they are two. Shiva and Parvati are not different. So Shivji has revealed the techniques, and also he has revealed the machines which help us to realize what is conveyed in the mantras. See, for those who are highly qualified and those who follow the path of dharma properly, and those who have purified their antakarana, when they listen to the mantras and when they contemplate and when they meditate, they are able to realize and experience their own self. No yantra and tantra are not required. But all of us are not so advanced, so qualified. So we need yantra also, we need tantra also, the techniques also, which are also revealed by Shivji. Let me give some example to make this more clear. See, all of us, we have heard about the great pyramids. I'm giving the example from the world, the pyramids. Huge structure built many, many years ago. Lakhs of stones are used, blocks. Those huge pyramids have more than 2 lakhs or 3 lakh stones. And each stone, each block weighs some 2.5 tons average. Huge. And they are placed on each other in a very systematic way to build that huge pyramid. And inside the pyramid also there are tunnels and there are rooms and there are various chambers and all sorts of things are there. And these pyramids are built following the geographical directions and the stars and all those things. Now, when we see those, we don't even understand how they were built. We don't even understand the complete knowledge why they were built. It's a great mystery. It's a great wonder. So there was some knowledge because of which the pyramids were built. That is one thing. But these huge blocks, how exactly they were placed on each other, what were the machines which were used, and what were the techniques which were used, it's a great mystery. People come up with various types of theories. So knowledge was there with them, yantra was there, machine was there, and the technique were also there. Similarly, this knowledge is given to us that I am Brahma. But the mind, our intellect is so restless and so impure that it becomes difficult for us, almost impossible for us to experience it. Bhagwan, out of his kindness, has given us this yantra. Our own body is like a yantra. It's a machine. It's the most sophisticated machine. And we can use this machine to experience our own self. Though the self is beyond this body, though the self is different from this body, but we can use this body, not only the Stula Sharir, but we can use the Sukshma Sharir to realize our own self. So that this body is a yantra, and how to use this yantra is the technique which are also revealed by our great teachers, starting from Shiv Bhagwan. So the various yogic techniques which are there of how to sit, the various asanas, the various pranayams, the various technique by which we can control our senses, we can control the mind, we can regulate the thinking. They are quite amazing and mysterious techniques are there which help us to experience ourselves. There are these machines or diagrams are there, like Shri Yantra and all. Even the Murti Puja and all, they are also like diagrams of thing which help us, like Shivalinga is there, or Shaligram is there. It helps us to direct our attention towards that supreme reality. But these yantras are there, like this Shri Yantra and all. Through diagram helps us to understand that supreme truth. So Shiv Bhagwan has revealed this knowledge to Parvati ji, which is called Agama. And Parvati ji revealed some secret to Shiv Bhagwan, which is called Nigama. So Agama and Nigama are also there, which help us to realize ourselves, to give us a technique and a push by which we can experience ourselves. So that yogic parampara is there, like a Maschendranath and Gorakhnath, and Gahininath. In that parampara itself was Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj. Sant Jnaneshwar Maharaj is a beautiful confluence of both, all three, the mantra, yantra and tantra also. From the Natha Sampradaya, Sant Jnandev Maharaj gained all this technique by which he could realize his own self. His own brother, elder brother, was his teacher, Nivruttinath. But his brother learned from his own teacher, Gahininath, who came from that same parampara of Gorakhnath and Maschendranath, who learned from Shivji himself. So, we should not only gain the knowledge, but we should also gain the technique by which we can experience this knowledge. Our own Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanand Maharaj, he learned from Shivanandji, and he also learned from Taponji Maharaj. Pujya Gurudev He taught this essence of the Upanishads, essence of Bhagavad Gita in a very beautiful way. If I have to briefly convey the teachings of Pujya Gurudev, he also used a yantra and a tantra to convey this knowledge. And the beautiful yantra which Gurudev has used, which all of those who have listened to him must have seen, is this. This is called the BMI chart. You see the BMI chart. Gurudev used this chart. This was like a tantra, it is like a yantra, a machine, a drawing, a tool to help us comprehend the great knowledge. So what is conveyed in the Upanishads as Brahma, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam Brahma is indicated by this one sound symbol Om. So Om conveys what is said in the Upanishad. It declares this Om, Brahma, and tells us that you are that Om, you are Brahma. That is the knowledge given. The knowledge given in the Upanishad is simple. Tattvamasi, you are Brahma. But who is this you who is listening to this knowledge? He is this PFT, perceiver, feeler, and thinker. We perceive this world, we are the perceiver of this world through our body and senses. We perceive this world. We feel through our mind. And we think through our intellect. So we are the perceiver, feeler, and thinker. We perceive the world through our senses, and the world is made up of objects. So O is objects. With the mind, we feel the emotions. E is emotions. And with the intellect, we think the thoughts. So this OET is the world. PFT is myself, identified with BMI, body, mind, intellect. And the teacher tells me that you are not this body, mind, intellect. You are this Om. So what is preventing me from experiencing this V? This V stands for Vasanas. Vasanas are the past impressions which we are carrying in this lifetime. Our prarabdha karma, which we carry with us. And when we understand that I am Brahma, but we don't experience it, in order to experience, we have to meditate. But when we sit for meditation, our vasanas prevent us from meditating. Our vasanas force us to think of the world of objects, emotions, and thoughts. So what is the way out? Pujya Gurudev, he said, you follow the path of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means fulfill all your duties, dedicating all your actions to Ishvara, and do your duties without ego and egocentric desires. So when we fulfill all our responsibilities towards ourselves, towards our family, towards our society, towards Ishvara, towards everyone, without ego and egocentric desires, then these vasanas, the flow, the power which is there in these vasanas which were taking us towards OET, it gets transformed and takes us towards Om. The shape of the V changes. It takes us towards Om. Pujya Gurudev used to say that when you perform your actions, your duties without ego and egocentric desires, then the pressure of the vasanas get reduced. He used to use that word. The pressure of the vasanas gets reduced. The vasanas which are driving us toward the world, they have their own pressure, they have their own power and strength. It gets reduced, and we are able to shift our attention towards that Om, towards that Brahma. With our purified mind and intellect, we can turn our attention to Om and gain abidance in our own self as Om, as Brahma. Pujya Gurudev, during his meditation classes also, used to use techniques by which he used to make us go through that technique, and suddenly we'll stop. And in that moment, the mind, intellect will stop, and our attention gets shifted towards our own inner self. So Pujya Gurudev not only used mantras to give us knowledge, but he used this most fascinating yantra, and he used most fascinating tantra. Tantra means technique. He used technique to teach us. So teacher uses all this to guide us, to teach us, and make us experience our own self. I had the good fortune of meeting my most wonderful teacher, Swami Paramananda Bharati ji also. And by his grace only he came and met. He gave me his darshan by his own grace. First I met him in Uttarkashi, thereafter in Delhi, and he directly one-to-one taught me the Brahma Sutras and also the Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, and I heard his talks on Bhagavad Gita and other texts. Pujya Paramananda Bharati ji was a science professor in his Purvashram. He was a visiting professor in the many foreign universities also, and he was a professor in Madras IIT. But from his childhood itself, he was very spiritually inclined. His father was also a great Vedantic scholar. So he developed a total vairagya towards everything. And he renounced the world and he took sannyas. He became a parivrajak sannyasi, dandi sannyasi. He was given diksha in Sringeri Mutt by the Shankaracharya. And Swamiji went all over the world and our country, sharing this knowledge with everyone. So he, being a scientist in his previous Purvashram, he approached the whole Vedanta in a very, very systematic and a scientific way. See, science has got its own beauty. Science tries to understand this world through observation. It observes through the senses and also using various types of machines. It observes the world. And after observing the world, it tries to understand the laws governing this world. So after observing the world, they come up with various hypotheses which might explain the observation. Then they come up with the theories, and if the theories are confirmed 100%, then they understand the laws. So they have understood many laws of gravity and all, and they also come up with various theories like relativity theory and Big Bang theory. Big Bang is just a theory, it is not yet confirmed, it has not become a law. According to this Big Bang theory, about 13.5 billion years ago, the world got created from a singular point. It suddenly expanded into this vast world. First, there were only gases, and those gases came together to form stars, and those stars created heavy minerals, and with a supernova, they burst, and so many planets and all were formed. And slowly on this earth, life came into existence, and all of us are there. So according to this science theory, they come up with various theories. But once their observation becomes more subtle, they can collect more information, they modify their theories. Nowadays, with a very special telescope sent in the space, the JWST, they have discovered some very ancient galaxies which has disturbed their Big Bang theory, because those galaxies were so ancient that according to their theory they should not have been there, but they are there. So they will have to modify their theory a bit. So Swami Paramananda Bharati, being a scientist, he explained the whole Vedanta in a very, very precise and scientific and rational way, logically, systematically. And he used to say that one of the greatest scientists was Bhagwan Shankaracharya himself, who has explained the whole Shastra in a very systematic, logical, rational way. So I had the great fortune, and many of you also must have heard Swamiji, to hear Swamiji and learn from Swamiji directly the mantras of the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and also directly learn from him one-to-one and gain his blessings. So on this day, I remember all these teachers right from Bhagwan Shivji himself, Sadashiva Samarambha. Also remember Vedavyasji, who has imparted this knowledge in the most beautiful way. Remember Adi Shankaracharya ji with all his many his disciples, and that parampara he continued. I also pay my homage to Sant Naneshwar Maharaj, who through his beautiful commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and also the most fascinating is text called Amrutanubhav and Sangdev Pasashti. Sant Naneshwar Maharaj has revealed not only the mantra, but he has also revealed the yantra and tantra, which help us to realize our own self. I pay my respect and reverence to Swami Taponji Maharaj, Swami Shivananji Maharaj, our Pujya Gurudev, Guruji, and many other acharyas who have taught me. Because of their teaching only, I could comprehend the Shastras and also could share whatever I have learned with all of you. So I invoke the blessings of all these gurus on all of you. All of you who are listening to me, you have taken a portion of me by listening to me, because what I am teaching is not just the inert words. It contains the prana shakti. It contains the spiritual shakti. That shakti also enters into your system. You cannot separate it. It is there. So definitely you will be benefited from these teachings, and whatever you have learned, you can share according to your own capacity with others around you, so that everyone, more and more people are benefited by this wisdom. So on this day, I invoke the blessings of all these teachers on all of us. May their grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. Om Tat Sat. Om Shankaram Paramanandam Brahmanishtam Yatishwaram Bhashya Bhrantiharam Vande Shuddhatnyane Kabodhakam. Let us conclude by chanting Bhagwan's name and doing namaskar to all our teachers. Jaya Guru Omkara, Jaya Jaya Satguru Omkara, Om Brahma Vishnu Sadashiva, Har 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 Mahadeva, Brahma Vishnu Sadashiva, Har 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 Mahadeva. Jaya Guru Omkara, Jaya Jaya Satguru Omkara, Om Jaya Guru Omkara, Jaya Jaya Satguru Omkara, Om Sadguru Omkara, Om Sadguru Omkara, Om. बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. Hari Om. So we will conclude with a Shanti mantra. So please be on the lookout for the announcement for the next session of classes which we will take. We will study the 8th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, but we will have few days of holidays. So during this vacation, you revise all that you have learned and also practice. And see you all in the next class. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.